Alright, it is finally time for me to show you the answer to the riddle. I have an extension cord coming over to this book. Something goes on under the book, and these four wires come out from under the book. And once I cut this wire, the light lights. What's going on under the book? Let's take a look. Alright, everything's still set up the same. I'm just unscrewing the light bulb so we don't have so much glare. This is what is under the book. Does that help? I'll move this out of the way. This is a PVC heat blanket. So, I don't know if that makes any sense, but what I've done is stretch it out and untangle it on the table next to me. Alright, so I have it set up. There's the old one. Here's the new one. Power comes in, goes along this hot wire to this outlet that is running that hot plate. But on the way by, I've tapped into the hot wire twice, going to the bulb. So obviously that bulb won't light because there's no difference in potential between these two spots. This is what I cut in the video. So now the bulb goes from this parallel jumper off the hot with no potential between it to now it's an in-series load with the hot plate. Does that make sense? Let's cut it and see it work. Alright, we're plugged in. The hot plate is on. This is hot, but there's no difference in potential between these two spots. Even though it's live, there's no difference in potential. Until I snip that. And now it becomes the lamps in series with the hot plate. The hot plate is no longer working now though. Alright, let me draw it on the whiteboard in case that still doesn't make sense. Alright, here it is drawn out. We have the hot going to the load and the neutral coming from the load. There's the light tied on. You can see that light would not light. There's no difference in potential between the two spots it joins because it's the same wire. But if I was to cut that, now it's an in-series load and there will be a difference in potential between these two connections. Alright. Okay, now I've set it back up with this single pole switch in line so I don't have to keep cutting it. But you can see when this connection is made, the light goes out and the hot plate comes on. The hot plate, just because of the in-series circuit, the hot plate's not getting enough voltage to light. But there you go. So there were plenty of guesses that were in the area and probably even right, just worded weird. But really was a lot more simple than a lot of people were saying. Alright, now I'll take some voltage readings and some different readings around at different points for the people who are still curious about what I get for different meter readings. But one of the coolest things I noticed is if I use a 300 watt light bulb, it takes a minute, well not a minute, it takes a few seconds before it turns on. There's just not enough voltage drop there to heat up the filament right away. I thought that was pretty cool. Alright, I got my meter hooked up to either side of that switch. And we're getting like 0.03 volts. When I open the switch, 106. 106 on either side of the bulb. Okay, now we got our meter hooked up to the receptacle. We have 121 with a connection made. When I open that connection open, 15 volts. We're getting 15 volts at the hot plate now. I mean the heat blanket. Alright. Okay, now I've redrawn it on the neutral. And you can see it would work exactly the same. That doesn't light until I break this. And now that lights. Alright, so what was cool is, for some reason in my head, I think I know why, I'll tell you in a second, I did this on the neutral and thought it would only work on the neutral. Then when I drew it out on one of my lives to show people how I did it, I realized it works on the neutral or the hot, which is kind of bizarre that I thought it wouldn't work on the hot. But I think what it was is what originally made me think of this was Angry Sparky's claim that you can't be shocked off a neutral, you can only be shocked off a broken neutral. I was trying to show a broken neutral will light a light bulb, but a good neutral won't. So, all right. Any other questions about the setups? Any other tests you want me to see me do on it? Let me know. Thank you very much.